So we want to calculate how much ripple our output voltage has. All right. So if we want to do that, what we need to find, so we need a quantity that can express mathematically that how much ripple our signal has. So that mathematical quantity is actually called peak to peak ripple voltage. What does peak to peak mean? Peak to peak means that what is the distance between the upper peak of the ripple and the lower peak of the ripple. Okay, suppose this is the upper peak of the ripple, right? This point is the upper peak of the ripple and this point is the lower peak of the ripple. So if I extend these two lines, what we mean by peak to peak ripple is what is the distance between these 2 points. I mean distance in voltage, right? We call this peak to peak ripple. Okay, so what is the peak to peak ripple voltage? There is actually a very simple formula to find this peak to peak ripple voltage, and it goes like this. So peak to peak ripple voltage is equal to VR peak to, well, let me write that completely, peak to peak ripple is equal to V peak. This means the peak of the output voltage divided by the frequency of the ripple. As we saw, I will write this as FR. As we saw that for a half wave rectifier, this same formula will work for both half wave rectifiers and full wave rectifiers. We saw that for a half wave rectifier, the frequency of the ripple is equal to the frequency of the signal, and for a full wave rectifier, the frequency of the ripple is equal to twice the frequency of the signal. Okay, so the formula goes like this: peak value of the output voltage divided by frequency of the ripple times RC. Okay, what is R? R is the value of our output resistance. Okay, this value, this output resistance, the value of our output resistance, and C is the value of our capacitor that we are connecting to the output. Okay, so, well, this is our basic formula. We are going to have a supplementary video that will explain how actually we got this formula, but that derivation will not come in your exams. If you want to understand it, then please watch that video, but for this video we are trying to keep it short. And what you will mainly be asked in the exam, that suppose I have applied a signal to the input of a rectifier of some sort. Okay, suppose I have applied a signal like this, like I have 5 sine 2 pi into 60 into t. Okay, I am applying this signal to the input of a full wave rectifier, and at the output I have a resistor of 10 kilo ohm resistance and suppose 10 microfarad capacitance. Okay, so what will be the peak to peak ripple that is at the output of the rectifier? Okay, so to find this, what we will do is we will first have to find the peak value of the output voltage. Okay, let me write this explicitly as well. This is the peak value of output. So what will be the peak value of output for this case? If I apply it to a full wave rectifier and the diode drop will be given, suppose the drop of each diode is 0.7 volt. So what will be the peak value of the output? As you have seen in the earlier lectures, that when the voltage is produced at the output of a full wave rectifier, the voltage has to pass through 2 diodes. So the peak value will be 5 minus 0.7 times 2. Okay, this will be the peak value of the output voltage. And what will be the frequency of this? What is the frequency of the signal? Well, you can see that this is omega. This is omega. If I wrote it as 5 sine omega t, then this is omega. And what is f? Well, the relation between omega and f is omega equals 2 pi f. Okay, so I have already factored out the 2 pi, so for this example you don't need to divide by 2 pi, so the value of f will be 60 hertz. Since this is a full wave rectifier, okay, mind that this is a full wave rectifier, so the frequency of the ripple will be what? It will be 2 times the frequency of the signal, as we saw in this case. Okay, as we saw here, the frequency of the ripple is 2 times the frequency of the signal, and then we will just put the value of the resistance and capacitance. Mind it that we have to put the value in the correct units. So 10 kilo ohm, we have to write it like 10 kilo, 10 cube for kilo, and 10 microfarad, we have to write it like 10 times 10 to the power minus 6. Okay, so for micro stands for 10 to the power minus 6, and if you just put in the values and do the calculation, then you will get the output. Okay, so let me just check what output I get. I mean the value of the ripple that I get. Right, the value will be 5 minus 1.4 divided by 120 times 10 times 5 times 10 times 10 minus 6. Okay, the peak to peak ripple is 0.3 volt. Okay, so you can see that the ripple is very small. Since the value of C is higher, C is in the denominator, we can understand that if I increase the value of the capacitor, then the value of ripple will go down even further, and the less ripple we have in our output, the less will be the less will be the fluctuation in the output, and our voltage will be more flat, and the flatter voltage we have, it will be more closer to a DC voltage. So if I want to find the average value of the output, what we found is how much ripple we have in this output voltage. Okay, so if I want to find that, if I took the average value, so average value or DC value, what would be the DC value of this voltage? How would we find that? Okay, so after adding the capacitor, what we had was, we had it like this. We had a voltage, the output of the capacitor was like this, there was some ripple. Draw that correctly. Okay, so these were our ripples. So what would be the average value if we take, suppose I can draw the analogy that I said in the last class, that average value means, suppose if your graph is made of ice, and if you melted all the ice, what would be the height of the water? That is analogous to the average value. So what will be the average value for this graph? When you can guess that the average value will go through the middle of the graph, right? It will go through the middle of the graph, because we have some part that is very high and some part that is low. Okay, we have some high parts and we have some low parts, and if we take the average, this high part will cancel out the low part, and our output will go through the middle part of this ripple. Okay, so what will be the value of this middle portion, this average value? What will be the average value? Well, we know how to calculate the peak to peak ripple, right? We know that what is the distance between the upper peak of the ripple and the lower peak of the ripple. We know how to calculate that, and we also know what is the peak value. Okay, we also know what is this value, this peak value of the voltage. We also know how to calculate that. From these two values, can we find this average value of this DC value? Can we find that? Okay, we actually can. See, if I draw it like a number line, suppose this is my y-axis, this is my y-axis, and here is my peak value. Let me draw that, let me point that in green, sorry, I mean blue. This is our peak value Vp, and our peak to peak ripple will be, let me draw that in red, between this point. Okay, this is the, suppose this is the upper point of the ripple and this is the lower point of the ripple. The distance between these 2 points is Vr peak to peak. So we need to find the average value. The average value will be at the middle of these 2 portions. Okay, this will be our average value. So what will be the average value, or this will be the DC value, whatever you might want to call it. This will be, you see that if this distance, if the distance between the upper part of the ripple to the lower part of the ripple is Vr, then what is this distance? What is the distance between this point and this point? Can you tell me? Well, this distance would be Vr by 2, right? This distance would be Vr by 2. So the upper point as at Vp and V average is Vr by 2 lower than Vp. So what would be V average? Well, it will be just Vp minus Vr by 2. Okay, so simple as that. Well, that is all that you need to do calculations of smoothing and how to calculate your ripple frequencies and etc. All right, so let me summarize what we have found out in this lecture. We found out that when we add capacitor at the output of a rectifier, the pulsating behavior of the output voltage goes away. All right, the pulsating behavior goes away and the output is smoothed to a considerable extent, but it is not smooth completely. It does not completely become flat. There are ripples in the output. Okay, so we know how to calculate, how to find the value of that ripple voltage. To find that value, what we need is, we first need to find the frequency of the ripple. What we found out in this lecture is that for a half wave rectifier, the frequency of the ripple was equal to the frequency of the signal, and for a full wave rectifier the frequency of the ripple was equal to twice the frequency of the signal. Okay, so that was our first finding in this lecture, and our next finding, well, it was not a finding actually. I told you the formula, I did not explain how that formula was derived. I will explain that in a supplementary video. We know that if we know the frequency of the ripple, we can find the peak to peak voltage of the ripple using this formula. Okay, Vr peak to peak, we can the formula is the peak voltage of the output. Okay, V peak of output peak voltage of the output divided by the ripple frequency Fr times Rc. Okay, and we found another thing is that if we want to find the average value after adding a capacitor, okay, if we want to find the average value or the DC value, that value is V peak minus Vr by 2. Okay, so in the exam you will just have to plug in the values of these parameters. You have to just plug in the values of these parameters in this formula and you will get what you want. Okay, so that was our lecture. Hopefully I will see you next time in the supplementary video if you want to find out where did we get this formula from. Okay, thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye bye.